Boosted Box Chevy. That's what y'all, man, do that for me. Comment Boosted Box Chevy for me. Comment Boosted Box Chevy. Alright, y'all. I think we got it all tied in as far as I just got the radiator sitting there. I'm going to try to get that cap. They make a cap. They make a cap that'll go right here, bolt right here, hold the radiator in place. Intercooler, I think I finally got the intercooler piping situated. The crossover piping done in. We're going to fire it up, see what it sounds like for the first time through the turbo. Might be a little bit of a leak up here because I don't have the gasket in there. And that should be it. Anything that was supposed to be in an O2 or wideband, I just put in a regular old O2 in. Yeah, I guess we'll give a breakdown of what all this is and what we hope to see with it horsepower-wise. Let me set you up, see what it sounds like, y'all. We super rich. But we are, and a lot of this is going to turn colors. We are going to heat wrap all this. We have to get the heat down. And what I mean by heat wrap, is this stuff right here. It'll knock the heat down considerably. Wrap all this. Wrap my cross member, my crossover pipe, and possibly the manifold. But it's a must that we're going to wrap all this. We are. Yeah, man. So, yeah, the Boosted Box Chevy. Feel like we got it. Only thing we like now is a drive shaft. Put it in gear. Of course, we still, like I say, we got the radiator just setting in. We got a belt. We already have the belt. What the heck? Don't know how I did that. But we already have the belt. My radiator hose. My bottom radiator hose. Wire in my fans. And let her rip, tater chip. I like it, man. I like it. It's been a little road, but like I said, a lot of this, like I said, I done put all this together. Now I need to pull most of it back apart, and I want to make sure I hear stuff first. I hate to put it all together and it not run right, or it's missing something, or something's just not right. I still got to pull the plugs. I got the wrong plugs in it. I got to go with the NGKs. So we'll do that. I guess another breakdown. Let's see, a breakdown. 5.3, preferably a higher mileage 5.3 if you're going to be doing a stock bottom end build, because that means that your rings are pre-gapped. And what I mean by pre-gap is when you add boost, we're not going to knock the top of the piston off. So a higher mileage RPM or a higher mileage 5.3, then you can opt to put different heads on it. And if so, I went with multi-layered steel 5.7 LS1 gaskets, and I went with 243 heads. Not ideal for a 5.3, I'd say, because I just dropped the compression way down, but it's a bigger tuning window, so hey. And Pack 12 springs, sloppy stage 2 cam, LS7 lifters, and then that's on the head side. Then a Melling oil pump. I can't remember the number on the pan. Muscle car pan, I think. And the oil pan, aftermarket oil pan. And then the kit came with a bung for the welding oil pan. I opted to get a timing cover that already had the bungs in them. It had a dual bung setup. So you can get that timing cover, and the kit also came with the fittings, with the hoses, with all that. And then it also came with a wastegate, which to me, in my opinion, was way too big. So we went with a smaller one. So again, 5.3 higher mileage, LS1 multi-layer steel head gaskets, 706 heads, 862 heads, 243 heads, 799 heads, 317 heads, whatever the heads you decide to put on it. It's up to you. And the cam, it's up to you. Pack 12 springs. Pack 12 springs, I think, only good for 600 lifts. So you got to make sure that your cam is not exceeding that. And then we went with I'm going to say a GT45 turbo. We're not going to name the company. We're not going to name the company behind this turbo. But we're going to say GT45 turbo with a log manifold. And then we have a crossover pipe that came with the kit. It comes over, and from the passenger side or driver's side, it feeds over to the passenger side into the log manifold, which feeds the turbo, which in turn exhausts all that out. Okay. That was what we call the exducer and the inducer. So the intake side, cold side piping, you have to get you a kit of either 3-inch piping or 2.5-inch piping. That's all aluminum. And I'm calling this cold side piping. Intercooler, your size, your preference. Blow off valve, your preference. You don't have to put one in there if you don't want to. Some people don't. Wastegate. This is what controls the boost right here. I have to put a boost controller on it. And like I said, I think we have an 8-pound spring in it right now. But that's what controls the boost. That's what's going to tell us how much boost that we hopefully we have or don't have with a boost controller, a dial, and a gauge inside the car. Okay. So then we have a 102 millimeter throttle body, aftermarket intake manifold. It's not a must. You can run a stock intake. You can run a stock throttle body. Then injectors are totally up to you. I would definitely get something besides a stock injector because you're adding more fuel. So therefore, bump it up a bit. They have decaps. If you know what decaps are, they have aftermarkets. You got snake eaters. You got FIC. You got Siemens decas. You got umpteen different styles of injectors that you can run for this setup. Now, again, you know, what is your goal? What's your horsepower goal? Then you'll build for that. You'll build for that. Like the 80-pound in Siemens decas, they were more than enough for what we're trying to make on this particular build. More than enough. Especially on E85. We don't have E85 nowhere here, so it looks like we're going to have to do a little pump gas and some little do-it fluid from the racetrack. And then you're going to have some way to feed all that. Walbro 450, plenty. Walbro 400, plenty to feed all of this for the horsepower we're trying to make, you know. Then we have a boost reference regulator. Fuel pressure boost reference regulator. When the boost comes up, it add pressure and the fuel pressure goes up. So we won't starve it for fuel. So that's something that you're gonna, it's not necessarily a must if you're running a factory return style 78 millimeter throttle body. The regular, like, hold on. Like this. If you're running this and this is a fuel pressure regulator on the factory setup. If I ain't mistaken, Sloppy made big horsepower using this same fuel pressure regulator right here. 3/8 fuel line, 5/16 return or 3/8 return, but you're gonna have to upgrade these injectors. The The injectors are not going to be enough for any boosted application. So that's why we're saying upgrade injectors. So, and a tune. You can, and oil, and then also, what do you want to do as far as controlling it? You have Joker, Jackpot, whatever it's called. You have Gold Box. You have MS3 Gold Box. You have Holly. You have so many different Haltech HP tuners for the factory ECM. There's so many different ways that you can go on whether you want to control how to control your engine management. And this is fuel injected. You can do this same setup with a carburetor. I've never done it. They say a blow through carburetor with it's MSD box, and you can do the same thing. I've never done it. I don't know. So, but what you see here, I'm naming everything that's on this particular setup that should make somewhere between 500 and 600 or above. Now, we know the turbo will go above. We know the injectors will go above. We know that all the components can go above 600. But with us having a stock bottom end 5.3, some has made the 800-900 horsepower on a stock bottom end 5.3. To each his own. I don't want to take that risk. So we're going to stay around this, 500-600 for wherever we make it at. And we're going to try to stay in that range. These big wheels are a horsepower killer, but we do have some rallies, Corvette rallies to put on here so we can cut up. We opted for a TH400 with a high stall. I want to say 3,200 stall, I think 32. I think it's 28 to 32 or it's 3 to 34. Something like that. On the TH400. So it's a 3-speed. And I wish that it was like a manual valve body or trans brake. I wish I had all that good stuff in it. But, that's unnecessary for what we're trying to do right this moment. Not saying that can't be an option later. And we do have one wheel peel out back. We're going to go ahead and put a locker in it so we can have, that duals out back doing its thing. And that's what it is, y'all. 3-inch downpipe, stainless. It sucks that we're going to cover all this up because it's shiny. It looks nice, you know what I mean? But we got to keep the heat down. So this right here is going to keep the heat down. We'll wrap it all the way down till it drops past the fender, that area, and let it, stay shiny out here, of course. Wrap it all the way up to here, all the way. Then more than likely we'll wrap the manifold itself, the log manifold. Wrap this pipe coming up where the wastegate is on. Wrap the crossover pipe underneath. Wrap the passenger driver's side manifold, possibly. We do all that to try to keep the heat down because this will generate a lot of heat. So we're trying to keep the heat down. Then the next thing we're going to do is a turbo blanket. Turbo blanket, we cover the hot side of the turbo. That'll keep the heat down. We're just trying to keep all the heat down as much as we can. Because first thing it's going to want to do is get hot under the hood because there's a whole lot going on. Not only that, we're not running the exhaust straight out, down, and under the car. It's going, it's staying underneath the hood of the car for a while. So we have to try our best to keep the heat down. We may get a double wrap on this pipe here. Wrap it twice. I don't know. But yeah, that's it, man. That's it. Your preference on how you want to do it, how you want to build it. You can go head studs. You can go stock bolts, head studs. There's several different head studs out there. We'll put it that way. There's several different head studs out there that you can try to do the same thing with. Several different of those too. So again, pick your poison. Pick your poison. You know, is it simple? Per se, yeah. Is it hard? Per se, yeah. It's just a matter of where imagination as far as trying to make some of this stuff work under the hood. You know, next thing is we have to shut it. You need to make sure all this is going to shut, and the hood's going to close completely. I believe so. I ran a string line up, or actually I ran a piece of tape from this side to that side over the intake manifold, over the throttle body, because the throttle body does stick up a little higher, but the hood, that spot sticks up higher too. So the Boosted Box Chevy. Boosted Box Chevy, man. Thumbs up the Boosted Box Chevy for me if you don't care. If you don't care, thumbs up the Boosted Box Chevy. Let me know what you think, man. Hope, this can help somebody. If they're interested. If there's anything I forgot, forgive me. I don't know anything. I'm just learning like everybody else. So give it a try if you want. If not, you got a question, shoot me a question. Hey, there it is. Plus we got that, man, we have at Got Boost merch. We got merch over there at Teespring. Grab you a shirt or something. We got merch over on Teespring, so give it a try. So like, comment, subscribe. Boosted Box Chevy. That's what, man, do that for me. Comment Boosted Box Chevy for me. Comment Boosted Box Chevy. For that Boosted Box Chevy. Let's see what she sounds like through the turbo. I don't know, man. I think we got like a 8-pound spring in the wastegate, so it should not open. We'll find out. But for the most part, I think we got everything. Comment Boosted Box Chevy. If you don't mind, could you do that for me? Comment Boosted Box Chevy.
Went from this
to this.
To this.
To now this.